What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we are going to jump back over to Marvel Comics and continue our coverage over the X-Men. But we're going to pick up with the prelude to Legion Quest. Before we can dive into Legion Quest, we need to cover the prelude. Legion Quest is a storyline that focuses on the son of Charles Xavier. Of course, that would be Legion. Now, this story right here is going to tell us what's been going on with Legion in the mid-1990s and what could happen in the Legion Quest video we're going to cover next week. So I do hope you like today's comic book video, because if you do, there will be more content like this in the near future. But I do hope you enjoy today's video. So the first chapter is more of catching up with the X-Men book, seeing what the X-Men members are up to. For example, on the first page, Charles Xavier is hanging out with Cyclops and Jean Grey outside the school, thinking about the goals they are trying to reach. Really nothing here to start off with. The next page, we pick up with Beast, who is working on finding a way to stop the legacy virus, a virus that was basically killing mutants off left and right in the 90s X-Men comics. With Beast being a scientist, he is hoping that he can find some kind of cure. Also, we see that Bobby Drake is trying to get Beast to come out of the office for once to hang out. Also, that Iceman is kinda sad as well, because recently Emma Frost had used her powers to take over his body, except she learned that Iceman is really powerful, an Omega level mutant, but Iceman kept fooling around and never tapped into his full potential. To him, he wondered how strong he would have been if he had actually practiced with his powers. Focusing on Rogue for a moment here, we learned that her and Gambit are having some kind of issues at the moment, a little bit of tension between them, but she is hanging out with Bobby Drake as well, where you have him talking about how he feels about Emma Frost taking over his body, except he does mention how he feels about Gambit and how Gambit is wrong for Rogue. Then you have Bobby Drake play a prank on Rogue by freezing up the pool. Now Psylocke is training with Jean Grey. There was tension between the two of them as well, except now it seems that everything is okay, or Jean Grey has forgiven Psylocke. Basically, there was a point Psylocke was trying to steal Jean Grey's men, but of course Cyclops stayed with Jean Grey. That is really it. The girls are now friends, as it seems here. Finally, getting to Gambit, of course we know at this point, and like a lot of times in Marvel Comics, Gambit and Rogue has some issues. But it seems that this time Sabretooth is the root of their problem this time. So when Cyclops is testing Sabretooth in the danger room, well, you have Gambit lie to Cyclops to tell him that Jean Grey needs to see Cyclops, which gives Gambit the chance to take over the danger room control room and make Sabretooth danger room session even harder than it was originally. Except before we are able to see any of that, we actually have to jump over to Bishop and Charles Xavier, where we see Charles Xavier is sad about him losing all of the data information he had on every mutant. Charles Xavier tells us that he had his eyes on another mutant named Comcast, who tells us that he has the mutant ability to trace any kind of digital information around the world. So it seems that Xavier may go to this mutant to ask for his help. Now we finally focus on the star of the next couple videos we are going to cover. Of course, that being David Heller, aka Legion, the son of Charles Xavier. In recent events, he actually was put in a coma. Also in recent events, Legion had killed off Destiny, another mutant who had the ability to look in the future. Now, Legion powers vary thanks to the fact that he has multiple personality disorder. Each personality had a different power. But on this page, we learn that David Heller is in a coma, but in his coma, he is talking to Destiny, which should not be possible. Getting back to Sabretooth, we see that the Danger Room session begins to become too much for him. Gambit comes out to speak to Sabretooth, but this is Gambit telling us the reason why Rogue and him are having problems is because Sabretooth has been saying things to bring a rift between the two of them. Gambit tells Sabretooth to stop trying to do that, and Rogue appears out of nowhere, which she does tell Gambit that they truly have issues, and the question is, will they actually work? Finally, to close on the first chapter of this video, we see Iceman being able to get Beast out of his lab to hang out. Remember that Beast has been working on finding a cure for the legacy virus, except he has been having a hard time. Well, Beast realized that maybe he should sit down and talk to his old friend and try to cheer up Bobby Drake. Now we jump over to X Factor 108 and we pick up with Forge, who is hanging out with Rogue and Nightcrawler because recently Mystique had died. Except Forge believes she did not really die. So he invited Rogue and Nightcrawler to look over a hologram footage of her death. Also because Nightcrawler is the son of Mystique and Rogue is the stepdaughter of Mystique as well. Also, it seems that Forge could be hinting at the fact that the two of them could be covering for Mystique because of their relationship, which leads to the two of them leaving angry for Forge, even thinking that about them. After Rogue and Nightcrawler leave, well, Nick Fury arrives to tell Forge and Valerie Cooper that Mystique is alive and well. She is hiding out by using her shapeshift ability to hide. The proof Nick Fury had was that there was a woman who appeared on security cameras twice. What helps to confirm it was Mystique was when Nick Fury said the fake version of the woman just approved a visa for a bad mutant named Avalanche. Of course, Avalanche was in the Brotherhood of Mutants for a long time when Mystique was in control of that organization. So what Forge does is that he sends Havoc and Strong Guy to go after Avalanche, hoping that it will lead to them finding Mystique. Now, Strong Guy is an interesting character. He can absorb kinetic energy to enhance his physical strength, and Havoc being the brother of Scott Summers, he can send out a different kind of energy blast. So it does seem like these two should be able to handle someone like Avalanche, except Avalanche has the ability to move the ground, literally. So he does that to cause a mini earthquake to escape. So there goes that plan real quickly. So you have X Factor meet up the next day to talk about why Mystique is back out in the world. Like, what is her mission? Where you have the team tell us that she is going after a lady named Gabrielle Haller, a high-ranking Israel diplomat. The question is, why Gabrielle Haller is so important? Well, it is not her that Mystique is going after. She is actually wants to go after her son David, who is Legion, the son of Charles Xavier, but also the person who killed Mystique's friend Destiny. So this is Mystique basically going on a revenge mission. So we jump over to the hospital that David is being held in, because remember what I said earlier, David is in a coma. His mind has been shattered thanks to the idea of his multiple personality disorder. Either way, X Factor is there to basically protect him and find Mystique, which you have X Factor run off to go find Mystique. Except when they run off, she literally walks by them as a different person. So you have Mystique change her appearance again to look like Gabrielle Haller, the mother of David. The reason why is because Forge is in there making sure David is okay, which then leads to Forge leaving because he thinks that it is actually Gabrielle Haller. So to him, he leaves. But of course we know it is not her. And she pulls out a syringe to get ready to inject something inside David to kill him. Except the real Gabrielle Haller walks in, which of course makes the rest of the X Factor run back into David's hospital room because now they found the woman they were looking for this whole time. Except right before we wrap up chapter 2 of this book, we see Mystique is about to stab David with this syringe. Well, right when she's going to turn around to actually do it. That is when we see David actually wakes up from his coma, which of course is a huge moment for this book. To everyone in the room, this is a miracle, but also making them wonder what is going to happen next. Which of course leads into Mystique trying to attack Legion, hoping to kill him right then and there. This could be Mystique still thinking that she still has a chance of killing Legion, or it is just her coming at him with rage on her mind. Either way, you have Legion basically blast her away, which of course is expected since Legion is a strong mutant, really an Omega level mutant. This leads into Mystique realizing she needs to come back maybe with a different plan. So you have her try to escape. Well, she actually does, but you have Forge send his X Factor team after her, hoping to stop her. Honestly, these 2 pages are not that important to me, and what is really important comes after this. Legion has fallen back to sleep, which could be expected since he just came out of his coma, only to use his powers to stop an attack. Except this time we get to see again what is going on inside his head. That we see Destiny, the mutant Mystique loved but Legion had killed, talk to him inside his head. Remember, Mystique still wants to kill Legion to get revenge, but Destiny tells Legion with her powers to get a prediction of the future. Fates told her she was going to die, and she wants Mystique to move on, except Legion keeps saying that he is going to fix everything, which leads to him waking up again and telling his mom and Forge that he has to fix everything. That leads into us seeing Mystique fighting against the X Factor team, and honestly, this fight may seem pretty cool to see. Gives us a lot of pages of action, but then you have Legion come out of nowhere to stop the fighting, to have a one-on-one conversation with Mystique about the message Destiny wants him to give over to Mystique. Basically him telling Mystique everything is okay and it is time to move on, except he is going to fix everything, which then he teleports the X Factor team away and leaves to take care of his plans. Getting into Uncanny X-Men number 318, this book may seem a little bit out there, like it may have no connection to the overall story, except it does, big time, like really big time. We pick up with Bobby Drake and Rogue as they are hanging out on the beach, kind of playing with the idea that maybe Rogue could leave Gambit for Bobby Drake, or they are just really good friends. Either way, this is the moment we learn that Bobby Drake's father is kind of a jerk. Always mad at Bobby Drake, but could be because Bobby Drake, aka Iceman, is a mutant, which could be the root of the problem. We learn that they have dinner plans with his parents. We then focus on Charles Xavier, who is asleep, which we then enter his dream to see what he is dreaming about, which is that is him chilling, minding his business until he is confronted by Magneto, who is not really around at the moment for a lot of different reasons. Except in this dream, you have Magneto and Charles Xavier having a normal conversation. At the tail end of the conversation, you have Magneto ask Charles Xavier how Charles Xavier's life would have been if Magneto never came around. Getting back to Iceman and Rogue, we see the conversation about Gambit and Rogue relationship come back up again. Again, it seems that Bobby Drake does care for Rogue. At the same time, it seems that he is trying to pull her away from Gambit. hopefully they could end up being together. But when there is a moment, the two of them may lead into the direction they could work together, except that's when Iceman's father walks outside to tell them to come inside for dinner. You can see the tension between the two of them. Rogue and Bobby Drake's mother are trying to keep the peace the best they can. Another relationship that had already been blooming. In this book, we see that relationship continue to grow. This time, it is Psylocke and Archangel, where for some fans, this is the book that basically states that this is the moment that makes them a couple in Marvel Comics. Nothing really big happens here, just the two of them leaving a party so they can have some alone time. A new couple wants to have some alone time. Now, getting back to the dinner with Bobby Drake and Rogue, we get to see dinner go south actually, where you have Bobby Drake's father bring up the fact that Bobby brings home women left and right, never staying with one woman, but also that all of the women Bobby Drake brings home have all been mutants. So Bobby Drake had enough with dealing with his father, who is basically being a jerk, and Rogue and Iceman leave to go back home. Getting back to Charles Xavier, we see him still having his dream with Magneto being there as well. Magneto continues to ask Charles Xavier if he ever wonders what the world would be like if they had never met. Except that is when Charles Xavier finds out that this is his son using his psychic powers to enter into the mind of Charles Xavier, which of course makes Charles Xavier wake up and find Beast to inform Beast that David had woken up from his coma. Also that this time it won't be the X-Men fighting against David, different personalities. This is David being, well, just David. They're gonna fight David being himself. And this is where we are going to end today's video. So please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read? Well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoyed today's video.